this week on a Bubble Chat.
That I said, I hope that's not true. And then I just don't believe nothing. Because, they'll say somebody died and they ain't dead.
I remember seeing the trailer and being so excited about going to see Bring It On.
She made that place hell to work for. So she
Ellen? And me, I'm going to handle my shit right
no
there. I don't give a fuck. If I'm mad, I'm not calling nobody.
Just like the freedom of speech, there's consequences. So use the N-word if you want to.
But you gotta be ready for the backlash.
Read a factual history book. Figure it out.
Or use
Let
Google.
me say this real quick.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bubble Chat, a podcast where we serve up interesting conversations from captivating topics. Our goal is to spark insightful conversations and share our opinions on our virtual table. We could talk about anything from sports, social issues, health, a little bit of politics, something related to Disney. You know the drill. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. By subscribing, you'll never miss an episode. You'll never miss my handsome nephew, delightful mother, and my eye candy. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And whether you're looking for inspiration, a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of effed up opinions, or just a good conversation, Bubble Chat is here for you. So how's everyone doing today?
I'm doing good. A little bit tired. This is my no filter look. I don't have my glasses on today. Normally, whenever I do an episode, I have my glasses on, but today I don't. Haven't, probably because I forgot to bring mine on when we had class. When I was getting ready to go to class. But yeah, I'm doing good. How about you, Uncle Ruben? How are you doing?
I'm good trying to watch this Lakers game. Hopefully they win. They're down to the Denver Nuggets 1-0, so hopefully they tie it up the series. And then Miami Heat, they're doing really well in the series. So I hope the Lakers and Heat play each other again. So that's what I'm hoping for. But this week's been really good for me. Excited for this talk today.
Yeah. What about you, Mom? How are you doing?
That's cool. Wait, who are the Lakers playing today, Ruby?
They're playing the Nuggets. The Nuggets are really good.
Oh, okay. I'm good, thank you. Happy to see my people, my beautiful people whom I love so much.
Alrighty. Well, are you ready for some topics to discuss?
Hey, nobody asked me how I'm doing.
Oh, I'm sorry, Eve. I forgot. How are you doing, Eve? I am with regard.
I'm breathing. I'm noticing that my eye candy and my nephew are doing the little scruffy, hippie, don't have time to shave look. Okay, you guys are looking good. A little bit ungroomed. I like it. I can do it. All right. So, but I want to say something a little bit personal so before I came on this podcast, I happened to be watching Top Chef with your Uncle Ruben. And after that, Watch What Happened Live with Andy Cohen came on. That is his name, right? Anyhow. Yeah. So guess who was on? Chrissy Teigen. And she had on this vibrant pink dress, showing a little bit of cleavage, had the boobs hoisted up. Looked like she breastfeeding the new baby. So, definitely congratulations to her and John for that new baby. But the reason why I'm bringing this up because it made me tickle. So I want everyone to know, no shade is being said here. I think that Chrissy Teigen is a gorgeous woman. Okay? She's vibrant and she's gorgeous. internally and externally. Moving on. One day I looked at my youngest child, who's and I happened to notice, and I said, "You know what? You're looking like Chrissy Teigen." And did you know she was offended? I was like, Chrissy Teigen is beautiful. And then eye candy over there was like, oh God, that's not a compliment. Fine, because I think Chrissy Teigen is a beautiful
I don't even know who that is.
She's John Legend's wife, the model.
Oh. Yeah. I can see that.
And I thought Ruby was giving me a little bit of Chrissy. You know, there was something in her face that was giving me Chrissy. And they thought I was being funny.
I'm Googling her.
But I just don't like Chrissy Teigen personally, so
that's what it is.
What about it? What you don't like about her?
Well, I told you her.
Oh, she got some problematic. We're all I'm problematic.
Well, yeah, I'm problematic too, but you know, when you're problematic against a 9-year-old little black girl, then that's problematic. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I think I didn't see that, so I can't, and you know how I am. A lot of times I have to see these things or read them on my own, and then, and then for my opinion. But yeah, I think she's,
but Chrissy Teigen used to think she was a Twitter comedian too, so.
Yeah, but this is. Can y'all see it or no?
No.
This is a little preview of our bakery build out at Shopify.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is this a subject we're speaking on, or this just came through from how you felt today?
What?
About
this is just Eve going off on a tangent.
Right. This is how we end up on this thing for 10 hours.
Okay, let's go on to this.
That should be a subject, topic. And we should take.
Okay, Juwan, can we talk about Jamie Foxx?
Yes.
I don't know how this broad been my friend for over 20 years.
Sure.
Oh, over 30.
Okay.
Is it close to 40, something like that?
Very much so, close to 40, honey.
Okay. Up first, Jamie Foxx's daughter is shutting down false reports about her father being in hospice care. On May 12th, the Beach Them host reshared an Instagram post, which is now deleted, claiming that Jamie Foxx's loved ones were preparing for the worst regarding his health condition, which he had been suffering from back in April. Corrine reposted the now deleted post and then added a caption to clarify that her father has been out of the hospital for weeks and was recuperating, even playing kickball the day before. She thanked everyone for their prayers and support and expressed disappointment at how the media can spread false information. What are your thoughts on this situation, guys? I'll start with you, Mom.
When I saw the post about him being sick like that, I said, I hope that's not true. And then I just don't believe nothing, because they'll say somebody died and they ain't dead. So I just couldn't believe it. I didn't want to accept it, and I'm glad I didn't. And I put a post on saying Jamie Foxx is well and in God's hands, and that's what I'm praying and believing, because I don't believe nothing else. So hopefully it is true. I was really sad when I heard they had to get a stunt double to finish his movie, and Nick Cannon took over the show Shazam. So I know obviously he did probably get sick. I heard it was a stroke and aneurysm, and a lot of people do recover, but it takes time.
Yeah, I could tell. What about you, Annie? What are your thoughts?
Well, he's going to have a new show with his daughter. I think it's called We Are Family or something like that.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a new show coming out. I think it's We Are Family, but I be making up titles, be making them names. But y'all just Google it. They got a new show coming. I think it's slated for 2024. So I'm excited for it. I'm definitely happy that he's okay. I don't wish anybody bad. Even if I don't like you, I don't wish anybody bad. I ain't got time for that. Unless you're doing some pedophile rape stuff. But even then, I don't know what I wish. but I can't talk about it. I shouldn't talk about it on air. But anyhow, yeah, I'm happy that he's okay. I think that bloggers and news, because sometimes journalists can get it wrong too. I think, they need to, before they report stuff like that, they need to, be clear, even if it's not confirmed, they need to say, hey, this is not confirmed, but we understand, but it's not confirmed or allegedly or whatever, just to let people know that this is not 100%, fact. This is just, in the pipeline.
That part. What are your thoughts, Uncle Ruben?
Yeah, I think everybody wants to be first. Everybody wants to have be the first person with the story. And everybody just needs to take a step back sometimes. And remember, it's like we've talked about this before, going back to the Kobe Bryant stuff.
Right.
We just need to remember that there's humans involved, people are involved, and they're not just stories. There's a human factor involved, and that needs to be taken into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not just clicks on a computer screen or mobile phone or whatever. So I'm glad he's doing well, and I think that that's important to take into consideration. And it's just horrible that it happened, and it's just people should just take a moment to get the story right. And
absolutely.
And that's all that I have to say.
Yeah, I think overall we just need to be very careful of what we post nowadays, because I feel like this person wanted to report the false news on Jamie Foxx, probably just to like get some cash or popularity and other kind of shit. Just like you were saying, Uncle Ruben, that we should be considerate of how we post. And we did talk about the situation before where Vanessa, where the lawsuit against the Los Angeles County that was being filed, a lawsuit by Vanessa Bryant for allegedly sharing photos of the helicopter crash that took place in 2020, where Kobe, their daughter, and 7 others lost their lives. I think it's like unprofessional, and the post that this person just posted is also unprofessional. And I gotta say, there's nothing funny or to laugh about people who are currently going through something that could be life-threatening. Yeah.
Amen.
All right, up next, we're going to talk about Gabrielle Union talking about her movie Bring It On and some behind-the-scenes stuff that went on. So Gabrielle Union spoke up on Bring It On and the way that the film's test audiences reacted to the Clovers, the predominantly Black cheerleading squad. But that's not all Union has been talking about recently. According to an article in The Wrap, Union has also revealed that she and her fellow castmates were asked to perform fake scenes during an audition for the film. Union said these scenes were written to appeal to stereotypes about Black women, and that she and actors pushed back against them. She said there was a script, but there were also additional fake scenes that were not in the script, and those fake scenes were written to be basically like sassy Black women tropes. And we were not all like, I'm not doing that. The cast resistance to these scenes is just one example of the way that they work to challenge stereotypes and tell a more nuanced story and Bring It On. Also, I read more to it that they filmed these scenes for the trailer to make it seem like they were going to be more involved in the story, more like 50-50 in the movie. But they were only in a third of the movie, so she was just bringing up that part of it as well. So what are your thoughts on it?
I think it's unfortunate to hear that Gabrielle Union and her fellow cast members were asked to perform fake scenes during the audition process for Bring It On, and that the scenes were designed to appeal to stereotypes about Black women. It's also surprising to hear that Union is speaking about this for the first time in over 20 years. at least from what I know. However, I do think it's important to note that Gabrielle isn't the first actress of color to speak up about the problems behind the scenes of Hollywood productions. Many actresses and actors have come forward in recent years to talk about the systemic sexism, racism, and other forms of discrimination that they have experienced in the industry. It's also like disheartening to hear that filmmakers would go to such lengths as shooting fake scenes to make it look like an all black squad had more screen time in Bring It On. This practice, and I find that practice to be despicable and disgusting, and it underscores the need for greater representation and diversity in Hollywood. What are your thoughts, Eve?
What I can say is that I'm glad she's sharing some of her experiences. And also I just remember seeing the trailer and being so excited about going to see Bring It On, because the trailer had like there was gonna be, these black cheerleaders. And I'm gonna be honest here. I am over half a century old, and I remember when there wasn't a lot of black people, let alone black women, on the big screen. So I was excited to go see the movie. And then I remember walking out of the theater, even though I enjoyed the movie, I was like, the trailer made it seem like we were going to see a lot of black women, college women cheerleading in competition. And it was a racial. There's, predominantly black, white, and I believe there was some Asian characters. I mean, somewhere in the background, some Asian characters and maybe some Latinas. But overall, it was a black and white movie. And I just remember walking around and I was like, I barely saw the black cheerleaders. So I think the trailer was definitely a misrepresentation of the actual movie. So what she's saying today correlates to how I felt back then.
I think in the end, it's encouraging to see actors like Gabrielle Union standing up against stereotypes and pushing for greater representation and diversity in the industry. Their voices are important, and we should listen to them and support their efforts to make Hollywood a more inclusive and equitable place. Before we move on to the next topic, Mom, do you have any thoughts?
I do. I am happy that she got that off her chest, and that's a trip. And a lot of productions do that. Like even reality shows are scripted. They'll tell you to do stuff. I'm interested to know how this thing is going to go tomorrow, like the reaction show. Even like I believe sometimes when you watch shows, even like when they're eating those hot chips, and they're like, is it a regular Dorito and they're just putting on, like, you just never know anyway. But as far as Gabrielle Union, yeah, she's been through a lot.
I can tell.
But I would go through everything she went through, honey, to have that paper in that good bank that she has, baby. She's paid, and she's successful, and she's an excellent actress. I have to give it to her.
Yeah, I love Gabrielle Union so much.
What sign is Gabrielle? A Leo?
I think so. Hold up. Hey Siri, what sign gets Gabrielle Union? Hey Siri, what is Gabrielle Union's zodiac sign? She's a Scorpio.
Oh.
Yeah, let me. Her birthday is October 29th, but let me check just to be sure.
No, that sounds about right.
While I look her up,
no offense to the Scorpios, but y'all be tripping.
Baby, the men, the females is all right. Those males.
I don't know nothing about the men, because any man who ever back in the day, part of the pickup line was, "Hey, how you doing, beautiful? I'm a XYZ. What's your sign?" That was back in the day. I don't know
today too.
anymore. Because eye candy, he never asked my sign.
What's a sign? I'm kidding.
So,
You know, to me,
but
it don't.
anytime
You
they
know,
said a Scorpio, I said, no. Well, let me buy you a drink. No, thank you. You Scorpio. And that's because of my oldest sister. She is Scorpio.
Mm. All right. Well, who has the next story?
Your mama.
That was funny. Yo, mama.
All right, Mom.
Up next, we want to talk about the recent article in Rolling Stone about Kelly Clarkson's show and the toxic workplace culture behind the scenes. According to the article, there were multiple allegations of verbal abuse, intimidation, and bullying from execution and producers on the show. This has prompted an investigation by NBC, and Kelly Clarkson has publicly spoken out about her own experiences. It was interesting to see Kelly Clarkson speak up about the issue on Instagram, especially because she is known for her positive personality and kind nature. I'm curious to know how you both felt when you saw her message. Do you think that more celebrities should speak up about toxic workplace cultures in the entertainment industry?
Yes.
How can we improve the workplace environment for everyone involved? Joanne?
Well, I'm going to say this. Toxic workplace culture is an issue that affects people across all industries, including the entertainment industry. And, you know, many people may not realize that they are working in a toxic environment until it's too late. So, like I said, it's important for celebrities to speak up about their experiences. And, you know, her decision to speak out about the toxic culture on the set of her show is a brave one, because here's the thing. I could tell that it took a lot of courage to speak up about these issues, especially when you are a public figure and your career may be at stake. But by speaking up, Kelly Clarkson has shown that she values the well-being of herself and her coworkers above all else. What are your thoughts, Anise?
You know, I like to do a little bit of self-reflection here. And I think it's easy when there's a lot of pressure and a lot of money involved that sometimes you can be toxic to your peers or as a leader. And sometimes we have to realign ourselves. But also, I think it's important when people feel like they can safely do it, that they can speak up to power. Just to touch back on Gabrielle Union to give you an example, when she was in that moment, she was trying to be a working Black actress in Hollywood, where there's very limited roles. So she did not speak up at that. You know, she spoke up to, I guess, the production team or whatever. However, you know, she didn't let the public know. And, you know, also back then there wasn't Instagram and Twitter like it is today. But we didn't hear about it. It wasn't in the news that, you know, there was some complaints about it. And I think that one of the reasons why Gabrielle Union can speak up today is because she uses her voice, and also she's secure in her millions, in her secure life. So, you know, if she never works another day, she's not going to miss a meal. You get what I'm saying? So it's easy for people to say that they don't want a toxic work environment, but when you're in that environment, do you speak up?
Mm.
And are you part of that toxicity? Because for me, like, I understand that Kelly Clarkson is human, and actually I'm a fan of hers. Like, she's my all-time from all the singing contests and everything.
American Idol.
Her and Fantasia and Jennifer Hudson, they are all like my favorites from all those singing competitions, right? Mm-hmm. I love their personalities and their energies and their talent. But moving along, you know, Kelly, you know, she's a multimillionaire. She's a successful artist.
Her 10th album is coming out.
Your name is on the show, and I understand you may not be, you know, you're not the only producer but it's your name on it. So if something has on my name on it and I'm responsible for it, I'm going to do everything in my power not to create a toxic environment.
Absolutely.
I just quit a job that was very toxic. And I quit it because it was toxic. So I understand it. But you have to either speak up to who's doing it or you have to leave the situation. And I know it's hard to say when you have bills. I have bills, but
Don't we all?
You don't have to be on the struggle bus for a while. Because my mental health is worth more than being in that type of environment.
Mm-hmm. That part. But yeah, overall, before I let Uncle Ruben give out his thoughts, I will say more celebrities. I feel like they should speak up about the toxic workplace culture in the entertainment industry, and it will help to shed light on this issue and encourage change for the better. And it takes courage to speak up, but it's important to value yourself and your coworkers above all else. And I also think that it's imperative to know that everyone who contributes to a toxic workplace should be held accountable for their actions, whether it's the supervisors, the producers, or the executives, or the directors. No one should be allowed to create an entertainment where employees are mistreated, bullied, or harassed. It's time for accountability and change in the workplace culture because employees should feel safe and respected at all times, and it's up to those in positions of power to ensure that this happens. All right, Uncle Ruben, what are your thoughts?
Well, so there's a little more to the story. I read the story on a couple of days ago, and the people that work for Kelly Clarkson's show have made complaints against, I think it's like an executive producer or of the show, and they've made complaints that this guy they've made several complaints to NBC, they've made several complaints to the higher ups at NBC, not necessarily to Kelly Clarkson, but they've made complaints and nothing's happened. This guy's still in power. And that's an issue when people have made complaints that he's the cause of this toxic workplace and nothing's happening, that NBC's not doing anything, and I think Kelly Clarkson has to take accountability for this, not just speaking up on Instagram. She needs to take accountability for her own show, because she's got to know that there's people walking on eggshells. She's got to know that there's a vibe going on, that people are uneasy when they're around this guy, that people aren't feeling comfortable when they're around this guy, because a toxic workplace, you could feel that that's going on, unless she's that out of tune with her work environment, and I doubt that she is. She should have said something a lot sooner, and
Right.
she should have made a change. Unless she's that out of tune, and I doubt that she is, she needs to make that change, because according to all reports that I've read, not to get off the topic, but that's what a lot of people say about Ellen DeGeneres, that she made her place was a toxic work environment. A lot of people didn't like working for her because she was horrible to work for. That she made that place hell to work for. So she was yeah.
Oh yeah, I did. I was gonna mention that. I was gonna mention that this isn't the first time a toxic situation like this happens in the workplace. If I can remember, Ellen DeGeneres also was involved in, allegedly,
allegedly. Let me say, allegedly, Ellen made her TV show a shitty place to work, allegedly. So, but I've worked in some shitty places too, and the Navy can be a toxic workplace in and of itself, because you got people that are shitty bosses, and maybe I was part of that toxic workplace too. Who knows? But there's plenty of people that will vouch for me and say that they would still work for me or go to war with me anytime. So maybe I wasn't. So who knows? But you also have to have
When you
accountability
told that
for
boy,
your actions.
asked him if he had a girlfriend because he had stinky feet, I think that was a little toxic. But outside of that, I think you were pretty good.
That was just me being a jackass at work. That wasn't me being toxic. I was just being a jackass. that dude's feet
That's
stunk like
different. There's
and
asshole
it
and
was
there's toxic.
infected. That toenail was infected like nobody's business. Nobody want to deal with that shit. That's all I gotta say.
Hate to hear that about Ellen. And I wonder, did the young man was he a producer, the dancer?
Yeah, I think it
No,
was. He was a
about supposed to
DJ,
have
producer,
so
and
much
stuff like that.
I hope he wasn't affected by her work environment.
No, I think he was on to another show. He was already working on, so you think
Yeah.
he could dance after that. But who
Yeah, he was
knows?
working on other stuff.
Oh, okay.
All right, we can go on and move it along and talk about a recent incident involving Ja Morant, a basketball player from he plays for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Played.
Okay, excuse me. He played.
Sorry.
Grizzlies.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He still plays
And
for
he
the
was
Grizzlies.
okay. That's what I thought. But y'all just gonna correct me.
Well,
All right.
sorry.
Anyhow, he
Let's edit
flashed
that. I'm gonna edit
on
that.
Instagram, and they suspended him whilst the league is reviewing this incident. What are your thoughts on his actions on social media? I would just like to, before I get into y'all, I would just like to say, though I don't think it's a great I don't think it's useful or helpful to flash a gun on Instagram, whoever you are, whether you're the average Joe or Sally, or whether you're a professional basketball player, or you're a celebrity or a janitor. I don't think it's the greatest thing to flash a gun on Instagram. And I don't know of any criminal record. He might have one, he might not have one. It's none of my business. But what I'm going to say is, I mean, it's legal to have a gun. So what is the problem with him flashing a gun on Instagram?
What was the caption? What did he say?
I think he went live. Okay,
he went live, so he flashed a gun.
It was
Yeah,
like,
but it ain't
so I
about
watched the
flashing.
video. I watched the video, and I mean, the video is like his buddy went live, and his buddy flashed to Ja Morant, and it's like maybe a half a second of Ja with the gun in his hand, but he's not even holding the gun. It's like the gun is in his hand. He's not even holding the gun up right. But here's the problem. Here's the real problem. He was suspended 8 games earlier this season for some issues. He had a gun at a club in Denver, and he was on live again. And there was like a red laser pointed at one of the other team's buses. There was an incident where he got into a fight with the NBA prospect and lumped him up.
He worse than Draymond Green
at a mall, and there was all these other things that caused him to get suspended. Now, I agree with you that he's in an open carry state. He doesn't have to have a license. He doesn't have to have any kind of like that. He lives in Tennessee, so there's no need for a license. So there's no big issue. The problem is he just got suspended, and they think he's supposed to represent the NBA, but he's not in the season. So I'm here thinking, why is this a big deal? Because it's like, he's just an American citizen with his Second Amendment rights, carrying a gun. Now, it's not the smartest thing to do because he's but he's just he's just he's just an American citizen with the Second Amendment rights. Yeah, going on live ain't the right thing to do. But why are we suspending him for while the league's going to investigate? Why is he held to a different standard than politicians that are sending out postcards or Christmas cards with their guns, with their kids with the guns and everything, sending out Christmas cards like that? Why is that different? Why are they held to a different standard than this kid who plays basketball? You know, yeah, I know the reason, because he's an African American basketball player. That's why he's held to a different standard. And that's why I don't think he should be suspended anymore. People are talking about suspending half a season. Come on now. The commissioner's talking about he's disappointed. Yeah, sure. You just talk to him and all that. And, this guy is an idiot. Sure. He's a millionaire and he's an idiot. He's 20 years old, 21, 22 years old. He's an idiot. He's going to make idiot mistakes. He needs to start hanging out with right people, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How do you feel about him on Instagram with the gun?
I honestly do find it scary, to be honest. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. And disagree. And, if you disagree with me, then, because, I'm not an expert on, gun laws, so I don't really understand it all. But, I get that he's young and I have no problem with people owning guns. Is the only issue is that what if it's concerns another person? I'm not trying to be Donald Trump or anything like that, but that's just my opinion.
Right. No, I got you. You don't like that he flashed the gun. I don't like that he flashed the gun, but I just don't know what laws he broke. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I don't care that he flashed the gun. It's not a concern of mine. To be honest with you, I just knew about the guy about 48 hours ago. And because I'm not, after Shaq stopped playing, I don't really pay attention to basketball anymore. So I really don't even know who he is, but there's people flashing. I just don't know why he's supposed to be penalized for having a gun. If he's not a felon and he's not hurting anybody, I just don't understand. I just don't personally understand. And I am a person who's for gun reform and gun control. But I don't know why he's being penalized. There's a plenty of people who have the right hue that are all the time, or the right amount of money, or the right hue, or the right connections that are above the law all the time. A lot.
I think that with these young kids taking guns and stuff, I think they should be I think they should have to go see a therapist or be counseled. You could because that's a warning before destruction. But you should not be suspended. No, suspension ain't gonna do nothing but make them mad. That's not helping nothing. I think these young kids need counseling about even spending their money. These kids are babies. They babies. So when they have all this money and power and all of that, I think they should definitely have to see a therapist or be counseled by mentors or whatever. And when something like that happened, you on Instagram flashing a gun, if I was his mama, I probably would have just knocked him upside his head. But you just can't do that. Again, no, he shouldn't be suspended. But it is warning before destruction, because he keep getting away with it like it ain't no big deal. He's going to do something. When you play with a gun, when you bring a gun out, you're supposed to be bringing that gun out to protect yourself at all costs. If you bring a gun out, it means it's time to protect. You don't just bring no gun out playing with it. And somebody needs to sit him down and just talk to him and get his
But why
mind
do they
together.
get to play? But why do
It ain't nobody
no,
should play with him.
but the point is, there's all types of a certain demographic that are always, they walking around the streets with guns just for the
And
sake
it's wrong.
of bullying people.
Yeah.
So if they have those constitutional rights, then Morant has those same constitutional rights.
I didn't say he
I'm
didn't
saying.
have the rights. I'm just saying.
But so it's not. So what I'm saying is not wrong. It may not be the best.
No,
choice,
it ain't wrong, but it's warning
not,
before destruction.
It might not be warning before destruction because all these certain type of people,
I'm saying as far as his
all the
personality, like Ruben said, he was flashing a
we
gun
got
at a
politicians
bus.
posting with guns.
Yeah, but if he flashing a gun with an infrared beam on a bus, you kind of pick up his mentality. So what I'm saying is, like, these kids, and I know kids who play with guns and who've used them, and now they're in prison. My nephew died in prison for carrying a gun, but they're dangerous. So I'm not saying that I'm not saying, like I said, I agree that he shouldn't be suspended, but these young kids need to find something else to play with, because guns you will end up in trouble depending on why you flashing it. If you flashing a gun because you like, we getting ready to go hunting or it's a sport or whatever, but when you're acting as like, you bad ass and you doing stuff like that, then eventually something gonna happen if you keep on. And even if he wasn't flashing a gun, period, like I said, he only 20 years old. So these are babies who, they may come from the streets or they may be attracted to the streets. It's a lot of good guys. Like my nephew was a good guy, but he was attracted to the streets. And sometimes you just get caught up, and before you know it, your life can flash right behind, right in front of you, and you can either be dead or in prison. And that's just like, freak accidents happen. Anything can happen. It's just a no to do to me. That's my opinion, to do certain things only because of what I've seen in the past, even with my own loved ones. That you just wouldn't think that something that devastating would happen, but it's dangerous.
Yeah, and I just looked him up. He is in his 20s. He is 23 years old. But yeah, I mean, like, something had to happen, because, like, I'm pretty sure he didn't just wave this gun out of nowhere. Like, something has to happen for him to do that.
No, I don't think anything happened. I think
people are posting pictures of guns. I've seen it. I've seen
nothing happened. I think he's just on Instagram
Nothing has
Live.
happened, and they're just smiling, talking about
So the video
bring us back to the way days used to be.
So the video is him riding with his homeboy, and his buddy went on Instagram. So this is what happened. I'm telling y'all, his buddy went live, and he's sitting in the passenger seat, and the video, it's like 1 second, and Ja's sitting there with the gun in his hand, and the guy goes back to himself and shuts out the video. It's like 1 second of him on. It's not even his live, it's the buddy's live. And that's what they're making a big deal of. And who knows what anybody else is doing out there, but this guy, it's like his buddy set him up. It's like his buddy set him up to go on live. Like it's like, yes, he should be playing with guns like that, but get new friends. That's my point. Get off of Instagram Live, get new
illegal,
friends.
I say play with the gun. You have constitutional rights. A certain demographic gets to play with their guns and do postcards and politicians and all this other kind of stuff. And he's a citizen of this state. He's a citizen of this country. And if he's in the right state, he can hold a gun, and there's nothing wrong with it. Point blank, period. I'm tired of them criminalizing Black men and Black women for having guns. And I understand that sometimes you make stupid mistakes with guns and it can lead down a bad road. I get it. I understand it. But if we're talking about constitutional rights here. And I'm tired of Black people being penalized to do that are supposed to be driving down the street, walking the street, going to a pool, going to the grocery store, going to all these things that are just daily lives that we are criminalized with, walking in our neighborhoods because it's not the hood, we're not supposed to be there. I'm so tired of it. And I don't think the young man should be penalized.
I don't either.
I don't think he should be. Yeah,
I'm thinking about it. I don't think he should be
We all
penalized
agree
either.
with you.
Or make it a
We all
negative
agree
thing
with
that
you.
he just holding a gun.
Yeah,
I'm
we all
sorry.
agree. We all agree with you with
He was
that.
just holding a gun in that video. I'm not talking about the laser. I'm not talking about that laser incident. I'm talking about this.
Me either. And when I mentioned that, I didn't say that to say he should be penalized. I'm just saying if he's a just like these white kids with guns, they end up going into a school killing people. Like and it's just awful. And I'm not saying he should have been suspended once again, but if he's been known to do such things, I don't care if it's legal or not. I didn't say he should be suspended, but he should be mentored, and somebody needs to sit him down and talk to him and
what
say,
should
"Baby,"
he be mentored about his constitutional
because
rights?
if you're putting an infrared light on a bus,
but that's
playing
not
with a
what
gun,
we're talking about. We're
it's
talking
dangerous.
about
No, I just brought that up as
video.
far as that was my own personal opinion as far as these kids playing with guns. I'm not saying he should go to jail. I'm not saying he should be suspended. I'm just saying anybody who play with guns, from what I know in my experiences with my nephew B, that's what happened with him. He took a gun from his brother. He took a gun from his brother because his brother was playing with a gun. He's like, "You shouldn't be playing with this gun. I'm gonna take it." He took the gun. He ended up playing with the gun. Next thing you know, he murdered somebody on accident. So they just guns scare me. And he went to jail. They gave him 50 years and he died in prison. And this was a good kid who was everybody's favorite. But he was attracted to, guns. He was attracted to all that kind of stuff. And it just led up to that. As far as this Ja, I'm not saying he's a bad kid. I ain't saying he should be suspended. All I'm saying is sometimes they need to be mentored to just see where are we going with this. I've noticed you've done a couple of things with this gun. Now, what's going on with these guns? Why do you like them so much? Why do you do this? Just to get in his head to see what's up, about it. But yes, they do Black kids like that. And that's another thing. If we already know how they do us Black men, our Black men with guns and stuff, then yeah, put it up because they're not fair in these streets. These white polices will kill you. And until they can fix that situation, be smart is all I'm saying.
Yeah. I wasn't even aware of this situation. And let's be one thing clear. Like, I don't think he's a bad kid at all. I don't think he's a bad kid at all. I agree with you, Mom, about him being mentored of seeing a therapist, so something like this doesn't happen again. But yeah, it's just.
And who's to know if something even happened? And like Ruben said, his friend set him up. Now he's suspended. He didn't want to show that. He didn't want that gun to be seen.
I never know that.
I agree with you, Ruben, when you say he needs some new friends, because that was straight up a setup, obviously, and that was wrong. And he might have told him, let me see you pick up the gun or grab your gun, and then he did that. I don't know what happened, but the gun done got him in trouble one way or the other. Now he in trouble, and whether it's right or wrong, if he wouldn't have been handling the gun like that, even though it's legal to do so, put it in your holster. Like, use it for what it's paid. Use the gun for what you're supposed to use it for.
Exactly. And we're just gonna end it like that.
They out here for any reason at all. Like, I don't even like I get nervous when JoJo leave the house. Now, yes, he should be able to leave the house, but I still get nervous because I don't trust the police. I don't trust none of them. So I would tell him before he leave the house, don't do this, don't do that, even though he has a right. I just be like, be careful. Don't do this when you go out. If the police stop you, don't go to going off on them. Just call
That's like what
somebody
you've
on
been
the
telling
phone.
me. Just like you've been telling me
Yeah.
when you told me when the police stopped me. You told me to put my hands up, say I am unharmed, I'm autistic, and yeah.
Well, you see
And
how
then-
that worked for the boy who was walking in the snow.
I'm just saying you can't. You ain't even safe then. But try to be as safe as possible, and then fight later.
I
Once
get
you get,
pulled over for the wrong reason. I'm gonna say, "Fuck you, police."
you can go ahead, but I don't want my kids to.
I
You
understand
can
that.
say whatever you want to say, but I'm
gonna
just
say,
telling
"Fuck
you.
you." I'm gonna say,
Go
if you
right ahead.
do the wrong thing or you question for me and you try to take away my constitutional rights after I don't serve this country in the military,
Yes.
I'm
And
gonna
it-
say,
and it's a
"Fuck
way to
you."
deal,
Kiss my rusty
and that's your right.
black ass.
And do so. But I don't
Oh
want my
my
child
God.
to do that, because if my son said that to the police,
It would have been ugly.
they gonna get him. So I would rather stay calm and be intelligent and just wait and then go to court and try to sue them. But if you tell a police,
I understand all this intelligent stuff, but what I'm saying
I'm
to
talking
you,
about as far as fighting later, you can't, if you don't have no backup.
I'm telling you right now, there's plenty of Philando Castro was intelligent. There's plenty of intelligent.
I'm saying as far as you know when to fight.
I'm telling you,
you put up a fight, but know when to fight.
who
You have
are
to
6 feet
strategize.
under, and they were plenty of calm, and they were plenty of respectful, and they were plenty of innocent, and they still dead. Their mothers
And I agree.
buried them.
I agree, but in
So
the
if I'm
meantime,
gonna go by police violence, then let me touch your corrupt, racist ass before I go. Let me spit on you before I go.
And you have that right. But would you want your son to do that?
If my son was gonna go one way or the other, I'd rather him go down fighting.
Not if he go to whatever, but would you say, son, if your police stop you, cuss his ass out and tell him to fuck himself? Would you tell
him if the policeman pull him over to give his ID, don't ask no questions, and tell them that all he wants is a lawyer, and that's it.
Period.
No answer. No, give him the ID. Don't tell him where you're going. Just say, I prefer not to answer any questions. No, you cannot search my car.
Very good. Now, see, that's what I'm saying. That's good. That's what I want to hear. But you don't want him to be like, fuck you, because it ain't getting nowhere. But oh, baby, after that police drive off, and hopefully you got it videotaped or something, that's when you go to get your attorney and get in that ass. My Gwen's grandson's other grandmother, she's got $1 million. It's been all over the news in Antioch. Her son was beat by the police, and then he lost his mind. He ended up committing suicide, and she just kept fighting, and one of the police officers finally spoke up, and they had text messages of the police officers bragging about beating up these kids and all of this stuff, and they are all gone to jail. And her son is dead and gone because he he already had mental issues, and that just took him all the way, took him all the way out, basically. But they all gone to jail for life, right out of Antioch, California.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna end it. We're just gonna end it right here. But yeah, I really hope John Morant. How did he really? John Morant. Yeah. I hope he's okay, and I just wish him the best.
Well, he issued a statement saying that he's going to get counseling, that he needs to get help himself. That's one of the things that I heard, that he's going to get counseling and that he needs help. And, living in Memphis, I've been to Memphis a couple of times. I don't know if y'all been to Memphis. Memphis is kind of it's hard. It's like Richmond. It's hard. You know, you go to the wrong side of Richmond after dark. You go to the wrong side of Memphis after dark. It's pretty scary. You know, I know Uncle Kirk tried to scare me a couple of times, taking me to places. Rest in peace, Uncle Kirk. But you know, that was funny.
He did. He did you like he did you like that movie and You People.
Yeah, whatever. I was like laughing. Like, you scared? I was like, whatever, man. Like,
No, you
scare
weren't
me.
scared, but he still took you there to try to turn you red.
Yeah,
But he don't know you ain't no punk.
but Memphis scared the hell out of me.
Got scared?
Yeah, Memphis is rough.
So what he's talking about he need help with?
Just, issues trying to make the right decision. I think that's probably.
Well, they need to
He's
reach out and help
23.
that baby.
I think because one of the incidents he had was going to the mall. His mom had issues at the mall, and he went to confront the person he had he was wanted to fight in the mall. So it's kind of a hothead, I think. So anger issues, and so I don't think his mom has anything to it either. So
I wanted to fight in the mall too when they disrespected my mama. That's not abnormal.
sure, but when you're a millionaire,
I still would have fought for. I still would have want to fight for my mama. It had nothing to do with my bank account. You disrespect my mama, I want to fight.
you're
And
right.
ain't nobody on here that can say if you disrespect everybody. I know everybody on this podcast right here.
Yeah, for sure.
The one might want.
But if I'm finna fight at the
one
mall,
might call the popo.
I'm not about to go get my son. I'm not finna tell my son about it. If I'm about to fight at the mall or somebody mess with me, I'm not gonna go tell my son because I know what my son is capable of. Jojo, I would never put him in that predicament. I would just deal with it myself. And
But what I'm saying is, if you know about it or you see it yourself, I saw my mom.
She called him up. She called him up, and he wasn't there. She called him up and told him to come to the mall.
I would never.
So yeah, it was that was kind of suspect on her part.
Well, she's a mom. She called. I'm not gonna call Solomon because I'm not like that. I'm not gonna call my kids like that. But I'm just saying that I understand when my mom was disrespected, I was ready to fight.
Sure. I was too. I was always ready to fight when my mom was disrespected.
And she knew what her son was gonna do when she called him. I wouldn't have called my child in that mess. I would have called my man or my brother, maybe.
I was about to say that. I'll call Ruben. Ruben, come on.
But I ain't finna call my child. And me, I'm gonna handle my shit right there. I don't give a fuck. Like, if I'm mad, I'm not calling nobody. I'm gonna just go off myself.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's got a bright future. He's a good basketball player, and I hope he gets his.
Yeah, I'm not saying
his head screwed on straight.
I'm pretty sure that he's not a bad basketball player at all. He's not an enemy or anything like that. But yeah, I hope John Morant does come back for the
I hope he don't get suspended for a half season. That would be stupid.
Yeah, the only reason why I said something like that is because I really didn't. I gotta admit, I don't know much of the whole story. But it just caught my eye. It just grabbed
all
my
I do is watch sports talk in the morning. So that's all that's been on the news this morning, every day this week. So that's all I hear is, should Ja be suspended for how many games? Should he be suspended? Should he be suspended at all? That's all I've been hearing all week long. So
recently, Uncle Ruben. All I know is that he was waving a gun on Instagram Live. I don't know much of it, but I'm not here to I'm not here to make this a who's right or who's right now. We're doing the show.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm not. I'm not here to make this a who's right or who's wrong battle. Oh, I'm just trying to tell you basically all I know.
I got you.
I think he should be embraced with love. Just like I was just telling a family member kid is been smoking weed at school and she wilding out and all of that and the mama ready to kill her. And I said, it's just that's not the answer. You have to embrace these kids. That baby smoking weed because the baby was born around weed. The baby been in the car smelling weed all her life. And you gotta be you mad because she smoked weed now? When y'all ain't did nothing but smoke weed in front of her and she has it in her system. Why is she in trouble? Y'all need to be in trouble for smoking weed around that baby.
Right.
I think we should just move on.
And the only way you're going to reach a child, and I know because my son, my youngest son, was so hurt one day. He looked at me, he said, "You're never on my side." Because I came up to the school because he was in trouble. And, I'm always friends with the administrators. So I never took up for him. I didn't give him a chance to say nothing. I just go up there fussing. And one day my baby just looked at me and he fell to his knees crying. He said, "You're never on my side." Now, was the motherfucker still wrong and guilty? Yes, he was. But he still touched my heart when he said that. And I learned how to deal with that because I saw the hurt on his face and he hated school. And as soon as I started being on his side, even though he was cutting up, I was still on my child's side. He started doing better. He really did. And now he's incredible. But it was a question in school. It really was. But once we talked and he told me how he felt and nobody's on his side, he's always in trouble and don't nobody got his back and all the issues, and we just brought it all the way back to all the issues, all the mistakes me and his daddy made. It made sense. Sometimes you have to bring these kids in and embrace them, whether they right or wrong, and make them feel like I got your back, I'm on your side. And it just depends on the mentality of the child as well. But I think love, when you treat these kids with love, and these multi-millionaire on the courts are babies. These is babies on the court with big money. One of this football player, I can't think of his name. He was addicted to promethazine with codeine. He played for the Raiders.
Jamarcus Russell.
That one. And I knew him personally. And I used to be good friends with his uncle. And then my barber, Notch, was good friends with him. But he was on that promethazine tough. And he had all the money. So he paying all the bills. He doing this. But y'all watching this boy ruin his life with this lean. He's drinking this cough syrup. And nobody want to say nothing because he paying for everybody's everything. You know what I mean?
Like
Your mama, the mama just shopping or doing whatever. And he lost his career. Like nobody mentored him. And they get up and they spend money. And I think too, when you go to college and you're going for school, there should be certain classes you have to take, like finance management, this, that, and the other. Like you got to get them right. Because when you go from making $20 an hour to making $1 million a game, that you got to get mentally right for that. That's if you ain't our age. Like if we get some money nowadays, we know what to do with it, but we have blown some money.
I don't know what to do with it.
There's a documentary on ESPN called Debt, I think it's called, or Broke. It's one of those. And it's about all these NFL players.
It hurts my soul.
They went broke. Like Vince Young was on there, who played for the Tennessee Titans, played for years, and he's broke, completely broke. All these football players. And it's like story after story of these guys living well beyond their means and had all these hangers on that just people just
And it's just bad management. And when
bad
you have a lot of
management,
money, everybody wants
you
a piece
know,
of it.
and had all these, and it's just what you were saying that they had these guys, these getting these rookies in there, and story after story being told these stories, but people say, "Oh, it's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to me." But the average career is 4 years in the NFL. As we celebrate Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, we would like to honor the legendary martial artist and actor Bruce Lee, who challenged stereotypes and paved the way for Asian representation in Hollywood. Bruce Lee was the pioneer of martial arts, and his unique fighting style and philosophy, Jeet Kune Do, influenced countless martial artists around the world. In Hollywood, Bruce Lee broke down barriers by challenging stereotypes and paving the way for Asian representation on the big screen. He starred in movies such as Enter the Dragon and The Way of the Dragon, which helped popularize martial arts in the Western world. Bruce Lee's impact on popular culture continues to be felt today. He remains an inspiration to many people around the world, including martial artists, actors, and filmmakers.
So, welcome back to the Bubble Chat. Before we do talk about our next topic, I want to take a moment to congratulate Jalen and Alani. They have just been engaged and they are getting married soon.
Woo! The cutest couple in the world.
Yeah, for those of you,
my nephew and his girlfriend are engaged.
Yeah, for those of you who may have not remembered, Jalen and Alani were my co-hosts of the Bubble Chat, but only for one episode. Let's just say they have like schedule conflicts. But I just want to take a moment to say, Jalen and Alani, if you're listening to this, congratulations, and trust me, me and Mom are on your way to your wedding once it's planned. All right.
That's right.
All righty. So
Even if you don't invite them.
Okay.
You better believe it.
So, have you heard about the recent interview with the View co-host Whoopi Goldberg? Well, according to EW.com, Whoopi got candid and discussed an interesting conversation she had with the late great Barbara Walters years ago. Barbara apparently asked Whoopi why she couldn't use the N-word. Whoopi responded by saying, "Well, if you don't know, I'm not going to be the one to teach you." It's hard to imagine a situation where someone would ask another person, especially a Black person, why they can't use the N-word. What do you guys think about this conversation?
I think she should have punched her in her nose and said, "That's why." Pow!
You need counseling.
And do. That's a blow to the face, though. Like, that's a blow to she started.
Uncle Raymond?
So if you need a Black person to tell you, or an African American person to tell you why you can't say the N-word, and you've been on this earth for 100 fucking years,
You are a true down to earth racist.
yeah, it's
your
like
ass whooped.
you're a fucking idiot. You're an idiot.
And you did that on purpose because you know you can get away with it. Now them the kind you meet later on.
Yeah, it's like
coming out the house or at the grocery store.
Yeah, it's like, and plus, it's not a Black person's or an African American person's responsibility to teach you why you can't say that word. It's your responsibility as a white person. You want to consider yourself an ally, to educate yourself on why you can't say that word. And if you're that dumb as to why you can't say that word, then fucking go kill yourself. Sorry, I can't say that, but go unalive yourself.
I love it.
That's all I gotta say.
Any, what are your 2 cents?
This is my 2 cents. It doesn't shock me. I never viewed Barbara Walters as an ally. She was giving me what I've heard from hundreds of women who are Caucasian. Oh, I slept with a black man. My boyfriend is black. My husband is black. My best friend is black. My children are black, but they're truly not allies. You know, they like the black penis. Um, they like, you know, the black friend. Um, but they're truly not allies, and they see an individual as a human. They see a black individual as a human, but as far as a collective or a group, they discount us, and they have low opinions of us, and they believe that we're subhuman or that they're superior. You get what I'm saying? So it doesn't shock me. And I don't like the fact, I don't like to say that people who are non-black can't use the N-word. I don't like to say that at all. What I say is that you can use the N-word. You should not use the N-word. You have that right if you choose to, but just like there's freedom of speech, there's consequences. So use the N-word if you want to,
But you gotta be ready for the backlash.
but be ready for the consequences.
For
And
the
stop.
ass,
There's too many. Let me say this. There's too
for the
many. And
whoop
Oprah
ass.
said this. Oprah said this a decade ago. The reason why she doesn't use the N-word, she doesn't use it with ER or AH or A or any variation of it, because too many black people died by the rope or died being beaten or raped being called that word. There's so much pain and suffering in that word for people. And so there is no reason why someone who is not African American or of African ancestry globally, if you're not, don't, you can, but you shouldn't use the word. You shouldn't even want to use the word. And that's, and it's
And
not
I got black friends who won't even use it because
of the reason that Oprah said, or the reason that they feel like when they say it, then non-black people feel like they can say it, or you can say it, I can say it. Yes, you can say it, but this, you should not. But if you say it, just deal with the consequences. And there has been very few, and I'm going to be the first one to say it. There has been a few people who are non-black, and I've heard them use it, and I've not been offended. And the reason why I have not been offended, because of within the context, and they were with people that they were family or considered family, and that was the environment that they grew up in. And literally, that's part of the environment that they grew up in. And I'm not talking about a racist environment. I'm talking about all of their friends calling each other that word as a sentiment to brother or homie or whatever. And those people, I actually have not been offended when I heard them. It's been very few, I think like 2 or 3. But the point is that Barbara Walters, if she didn't know why she shouldn't use the word, then that tells you a lot about her. And I'm tired of specifically some white women always wanting a black person to educate them about something. Read a factual history book. Figure it out.
Or use
let me
Google.
say this real quick. I get it too. This I think it's hilarious. I ain't gonna say it's hilarious. I don't mean no harm, but I saw this older gentleman tell this white boy to pull his pants up. And the other man was white. Both of them was white. And the white boy said, "Mind your business." And then he said something else, and he said, "F you, nigga," to the I was at the liquor store, honey. And when I tell you that little boy was mad, and that's all he knew to he said I know he was like, I know what to get under this man's skin. Baby, when I tell you, oh, you think your one expression on his face was just something. And the boy worked for UPS. He was in a UPS truck and uniform, and he was sagging. He had swag. He was playing his music loud off the truck. And baby, he cussed that man out in that uniform and did. Okay, are we moving on?
Yes. Let's talk
Natalia
about
Bryant interning for Beyonce's Renaissance tour. How lucky is she? For our final story this week, we came across an article that highlights an incredible opportunity for Natalia Bryant, the daughter of the late and legendary basketball player Kobe Bryant. According to the article, Natalia, who is currently a sophomore at the University of Southern California, has been interning with none other than the iconic Beyonce on her Renaissance World Tour. Isn't that just remarkable?
very
I can only
remarkable.
imagine how thrilling it must be for Natalia to work alongside Beyonce, one of the most successful and influential artists of our time. This opportunity is truly a testament to Natalia's talents, ambition, and her family's legacy. I would love to hear what my co-hosts think about this incredible opportunity for Natalia. How do you feel about this internship with Beyonce? Do you think it'll open doors for her future in the music industry, given that she is currently pursuing her studies at University of Southern California? Let's share our thoughts and celebrate this amazing achievement together.
I'll serve you an Eve.
With all the
I need a ticket to this concert.
with all the loss and loss that they've had in the last couple of years, I'm glad that she has this opportunity, and I'm sure that she's earned it. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, I have to say, this news about Natalia Bryant's internship with Beyonce has me absolutely thrilled. After all that Natalia and her family have been through, this is a moment of pure joy and triumph. I mean, just think about it. Natalia, a sophomore at the University of Southern California, has earned this amazing opportunity to work alongside Beyonce and one of the greatest artists of all time, and since they won, for that matter. I think it's an incredible testament to her strength, resilience, and determination, especially after the heartbreaking loss of her father, Kobe, and her sister, Gianna. Remember when Beyonce performed at the memorial service for Kobe and Gianna at the Staples Center? It was a powerful moment. And now to see Natalia interning for Beyonce, it's truly a blessing. And it just goes to show how far Natalia, her two sisters, and their mother, Vanessa, have come. And I'm sure that Kobe and Gigi would be so proud of their accomplishments. And I'd love to hear more about this journey that Natalia has embarked on. I'll go with what are your thoughts?
I'm just happy for her. That's all.
Where did Eve go? I know she went somewhere.
Probably to the bathroom. Our bladder is 50 something years old, Joanne. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do,
Don't be rushing her. Don't be rushing her. All right, here she comes. Here she comes. Here she comes.
Anything else?
Here she comes. Here she comes. Here she comes.
That's cute. That leopard on that velvet. Is that velvet?
No.
All right, anyway,
All right.
I think you're signing off for tonight.
Well, that's all the topics we have for tonight because our co-host Shay has some studying to do for her audition. We wish her luck for tomorrow. We know she's gonna rock it out, and she's going to win tomorrow, and she's gonna be win, and whoever hires her is gonna win because she's very talented and funny. Let us know about the topics you have. Let us know how you enjoy the topics tonight. Also, don't forget to subscribe. It would mean so much to us, and then you wouldn't miss any episodes. So make sure to subscribe and push that button to whatever platform you listen to us on. I want to apologize. Jawan is very professional. I am not. I'm unprofessional. Thank you for being
Me
a
too.
part of Bubble Chat. We consider you family. We can't wait to see you next time and bring our opinions and current topics to you. All right. Good night.